Oh, that's some good music, isn't it? Welcome, welcome. So good to see everybody tonight. This is Bright Spots. I'm your host, Lauren Labishak, and I'm so excited you've decided to join us tonight. We've got a great show planned, and Lauren Hersey of Strong Female Boss is going to be here, and I couldn't be more excited. I've known Lauren for several years now, and she is just a firecracker. So I do hope that you enjoy tonight's show, and welcome, welcome. If you are here, please let us know you're here. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know where you're tuning in from. I see Becky Smith from Texas. Texas is in the house. Okay, Becky, great to see you. I see Nicole Losi Phillips and Brent Johnson have checked in. Linda Weger, thank you for being here. So good to see you. Tonight I am flying solo. My co-hosts have decided that they're going to do other things. They've got some other challenges now that the world is opening back up. Brian and Sean will no longer be hosting Bright Spots. But please remember to come back, and we're still going to have a great time. And I'm sure that they've got something else up their sleeve. So keep an eye out for what the boys will be doing next. Bright Spots will continue, and we've got a great schedule through the end of May. You're going to want to check out every week, Wednesday at 7 o'clock. We've got some great guests. Next week, we have Tim Thompson of Ogilvy Institute's Towngate Theater. And we've got, after that, the following week, Tony Mugianis from Apollo Restoration and Cleaning. And we also have Nikki Fleming at the end of the month to round it out. She's going to talk about her Artists on Call program and her most recent Adopt a Senior 2020 in the Ohio Valley and beyond. So you don't want to miss these shows. We've really got a great lineup for you. I see Alice Heath is here, and Linda's telling me she's in Pittsburgh. Micah Underwood in Wheeling, West Virginia. Good to see you. Good to see you. So glad you are here. You know, it's a beautiful day out there today, and I hope you had some time to get out there and enjoy the sunshine and really take advantage of that fresh air, right? I see that Lowe's has their flowers in, and I'm sure Home Depot does too. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with getting out there and getting your flowers and getting them planted. Although, if you're in Ohio, I did hear that there may be snow on Friday. Can you believe it? Snow in May. And of course, Friday is my day off. So it's going to snow. How crazy is that? Well, I am so excited that you are here. And I'm really excited to introduce my guest, Miss Lauren Hersey. Lauren is an exceptional young lady. She is the general manager at WTRF TV 7 over in Wheeling. So if you watch WTRF, she is the general sales manager, and she's a firecracker and just a wonderful young lady. And I think you're going to be excited to hear about the great things that she has been doing and the great things that she's got coming up. She calls herself a self-proclaimed strong female boss. How about that? A self-proclaimed strong female boss. You know, I consider myself a strong female boss, but I also consider myself a happiness ambassador. And that's what we're trying to do on Bright Spots, is spread our light, spread the happiness, and wait till you see the light that shines through with this young lady. She is working on trying to find a balance between work life and self-care. She's busy. I'm going to let her tell you all about her life and who she is. Right now, let's make welcome Miss Lauren Hersey. Lauren, thank you for joining us. So good to see you.
It is so good to see you.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Let these people know who you are.
Well, my name is Lauren Hersey. I've lived in the Ohio Valley my entire life. I love it here. I think sometimes people have to go out of the Ohio Valley to come back to really appreciate what we have. I am a mom. I have 3 wonderful kids, 13 down to 3. So you can imagine that would make me busy. I have a wonderful husband who is my high school sweetheart, and he is in the digital marketing space as well. He has a web design business, Eric Hersey Web Design and Development, and I work at WTRF. I've been there as the general sales manager almost 7 years. I love what I do. And I am just a workaholic. I'm busy. I love to volunteer. But what I love to do most is help others. And so that's why I was so excited when Miss Laurie invited me to come on the show today. It's just difficult sometimes finding the balance, but we're all in this together.
Boy, that's true. We are all in this together. So, how has the quarantine affected your life? What has changed that you're doing differently over the last 9 weeks?
Yes, quarantine has been a challenging blessing, I would say. Having the kids at home doing homeschooling and having my husband and I both working remotely, time management has been, a bob and weave, trying to make sure we're good with everybody's schedules. But it's changed me, I would say, as a person, as an employee, as a mom. Um, Basically, the world has forced all of us to take a time out and pause and reflect on our life and what's really important. And so, at the end of last year, I kind of had an aha moment with my life and how I was living it. And I was working to live and not living to, or I was living to work and not working to live. And so that took a toll on my family life. And, I wanted so badly to find the balance. So, at the beginning of this year, I started putting some tools in place to be able to do that, but it was still so difficult. And so being forced into timeout has given me the gift that I wanted all along to be able to stop, breathe, prioritize, be more present in my life, and realize that your family and your self-care, like those are all just critical pieces of living a really happy life.
I love that you call it timeout. I haven't heard it referred to as timeout. And how perfect is that? That we've all been given an uninvited timeout to kind of take a step back and as you said, take inventory and realize what the most important things are. So during this time, you have taken on a new challenge, and we've got some new people in the room. I just want to welcome Jessica Kelly and Maddie Mulville and Mike and Wendy Anderson. And I think that's everybody I've said hello to. If you are watching, please drop us a line. Let us know that you're there and where you're watching from. So you decided to start a blog.
I did.
Why did you decide to start a blog? I mean, you're taking time out, you've got this free time, and you've decided to take on one more challenge. So tell us about that. What was the motivation behind that?
Well, like I said, I work a lot. I'm really busy, and I would be wake up in the morning, get my kids off to school. I'd get to work. I'd work real hard. I'd get home, get dinner, take care of my kids, and then wake up in the morning and do it again. And so I've kind of felt like I lost myself a little bit in that. And, I've never been a big hobby person. I don't have a lot of favorites. Like people will say, well, what's your favorite movie? I don't know. They're all good. I like them all. They're fine, And so my husband, he said,
I know
Lauren,
your favorite vacation spot.
where?
Disney.
Disney. That is, I do have a favorite vacation spot. We do love Disney, and I miss it very, very much.
So how many times have you been?
Oh my goodness. We go about 4 times a year, and we've been doing that for 5 years.
Wow. I bet you do miss it.
Yeah, we really do. But it's also, made me realize that it's kind of manufactured happiness, and that you can find that same happiness and joy in your everyday life. It's one of the things that I've learned. But my husband said to me, you need to find a hobby. Like, you need to find an outlet. You need to have something that's yours. And so, I did some soul searching, and what I found out that I'm really passionate is about helping others and giving them advice and sharing things that I've done, I've tried, things that have worked and changed my life. And originally, Strong Female Boss was going to be for young women in the workforce that wanted to work their way up. I'm pretty proud to say that I'm in the position that I am at WTRF. And I was 28 years old when I moved into management and, managing people twice my age. And so I really wanted to help these, emerging, females in the workforce with just tips and things I've learned over time. And, then it kind of switched gears, which it does when you start writing or you start being creative. Sometimes it ends up totally different than what you set out to do or to be. And, I'm going on this personal development journey and I'm finding myself and learning about mindfulness and time management practices and all of these great things. And I'm like, well, buckle up, come on with me. We'll do it together. So ultimately, that's why I'm doing Strong Female Boss. And so far, it's relatively new, but it's been just so rewarding. And I have people coming to my website from all over the country and commenting. And my husband's a web designer, and he's like, who are all these people? Where are they coming from? And so I think that's pretty awesome. And the other thing that's really cool is that like 25% of my audience, they're actually men. How about that?
Oh, how about that? That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So work-life balance is a pretty hot topic. What's the best advice or what's the one thing that you really think every woman who is trying to balance those two things, what's the one thing they need to know?
Well, in my opinion, it is giving yourself the oxygen mask first. And for so many years, I did not. I gave every single bit of me to everyone else and gave nothing back to myself. And I was running on fumes. And so you're not ever going to be everything to everyone, but in order to give your best version of yourself, and me, I want to be the best mom, and I want to be the best wife, and the best employee, employer, whatever it is. But you have to take that time for yourself first. And I've through quarantine have started waking up 2.5 hours before my day actually has to start, and I'm doing the things that I want to do. I'm exercising, I'm journaling, I'm reading my devotional, I'm taking time to take a deep breath before I start giving everything to everyone else.
And I think that's really important for all of us to hear, ladies. I think it's really important for us to hear that because so often we're so busy taking care of everyone else that we put our own needs and our own self-care on the back burner. And it catches up with you. It truly catches up with you. And so ladies, make sure you're putting the oxygen mask on yourself first. That's great advice. So what has been the biggest challenge for you while you've been working from home, homeschooling, continuing the balancing act of, because you're still doing your job, you're still keeping WTRF going, and you're still, but now you also have to homeschool the kids. And I know Eric, and I know that he's an extremely supportive husband, and is a stay-at-home dad and has been working from home for years, correct? So, and I'm sure he's a big help, but also, so I tried to work from home. There was a short period of time where I was out of work, and I just couldn't do it. I mean, our friend Sherry Dunleavy has popped into the conversation, and I interviewed her a couple of weeks ago, and she is the boss when it comes to working from home. I mean, she rock and rolls it, but it just wasn't for me. I couldn't do it. I guess I need to have that schedule of going to work and knowing what my goals are and getting them done. Creating that myself I was not successful at that. So, what have the challenges been for you since you've been thrust into this work from home situation, and now you also have to balance homeschooling and taking care of the husband and all of that?
Yeah, so I'll tell you when I there was a point in my career where I did work from home, but I was working on my laptop in my pajamas, and it wasn't a world yet of Zoom meetings and always being on. And so I was at Disney World, and when we left, there were just some like rumblings of the coronavirus. But I think deep down, we all kind of thought this was going to be nothing. It's going to be another swine flu or, bird flu or something like that. And we were going to get through it. I don't think anybody could have imagined what, was going to unfold. And I came back up and I decided, with what was going on at that point, that I would quarantine myself just in case for another couple days before I went back to work. Well, ultimately, I never ended up going back into the office with my peers. In the first couple of weeks, I had some real struggles, and not only was I managing a team remotely, but I was trying to get everybody up and running in this new remote workforce. And again, I just kind of felt like I was losing myself. I was wearing sweats. I normally am very polished and buttoned up, and you dress for the job that you want. And so I decided a couple weeks into it that I had to come up with a new routine. Mine was not working. So I started getting up early, and I get dressed and I put my makeup on just as if I was going to work every single day, even on the weekends. I do because it makes me feel more like myself. And then, when the kids are getting started and our days are getting started and everybody wakes up, I'm prepared. So we actually have a family planner whiteboard. We're both kind of type A personalities because they have my kids have Zoom piano lessons, and they have Zoom meetings, and they have their classwork. And then we have a toddler who's not in school yet that we're taking care of as well. And I mean, the big challenge for me is I like to be a professional. When I'm working, I like to keep it classy and, people be respectful. And, today I was on a meeting in Teams with two other people like we're talking right now. And my husband bursts into the room and is talking about these will warm your heart, these picture frames that my daughter made me. And saying, Lainey's getting upset because you're not doing anything with her picture frames. And I'm on this professional call. I'm trying to put out a fire. So I think a challenge has just been, trying to remain a professional when life is messy. Like, we're all home. We have dogs barking. We have babies. We have kids getting hurt and crying, and trying to navigate all of that. But it's been such a beautiful mess, that I wouldn't change for anything. Being able to, we've potty trained our son, and he's really just starting to talk and form his own personality. And if it weren't for this quarantine, I would have missed a lot of that being away from home,
Sure.
for extended hours a day. So, it's like we're all gonna have bad days. Like if there's one thing I want to say about it is I'm normally very happy and chipper and upbeat, and I'm an optimist, and I always see and find the best in everything and everyone. And I've had a couple days where they've just been rough. Like things aren't clicking, and I don't want to do it. And I think that you have to give yourself that grace and saying, it's not always going to be perfect 100% of the time. You can't always be on and clicking and great whenever there's no real stop and start to your day. It all just blends.
Right. So
I want to know, I have a question for you, Mrs. Interviewer. So what have you learned and taken away from quarantine?
Well, I've learned to appreciate the little things. I notice my flowers when I leave in the morning. I'm not just rushing out the door. I miss people's smiles. So I think I smile more. And most people who know me know that I'm a smiler. I love to smile at people. I love to shine that light. And wearing masks now when we go grocery shopping or, whatever, you can't see a person's smile. And I actually I've stopped and spoken to people in the grocery store just to let them know that I really am smiling at them, because and I miss that. I truly appreciate that connection, that human connection that I feel like now everyone is afraid to make because they're afraid of the virus. So I guess for me, I always thought that I appreciated the little things. Now they're much more obvious to me, I guess. I have been working, as I said before. I've not been a work at home person during this because of the nature of my job. I have, I guess, been considered an essential worker, so I have been going to work every day. So I've still gotten out of the house, and I've not had to change things. And my husband as well. He's in the funeral business, so his work has continued as well. So neither one of us have really had to have that quarantine feeling, I guess, except at night. And we're used to going out to eat. That's probably what we do the most now, that because our children are gone. So we're empty nesters, have been for many years now. So our time together is very different. I have learned that I love to cook. I really love to cook. I have found some new recipes that I've tried, and I've been doing different things in the kitchen, and that's been exciting. That's been a whole lot of fun. I am used to being busy. I rarely come home from work and stay home. I'm usually out singing or doing something somewhere. So I've had to find new ways to do that here. And that's why I started Bright Spots. And that's why I do the morning music every day. And that's why we do the sing along on Sunday evenings. So the internet has created an incredible community for connecting just like this.
Absolutely. Being alone together, right?
That's right. That's right. I mean, it's really, it's amazing how connected we truly are. It really is.
One of the first blogs that I wrote was actually about an app like used to connect people during this quarantine. And like I lived near my mom, and it would be maybe a week at a time sometimes before I would talk to my mom, and I could see her house from my house. And this quarantine with this app, Marco Polo, that I'm using, has actually like connected us even more. And so the internet really is bringing us together so much, and talking to family that, maybe you saw on like holidays and special occasions. So I think it's a positive. We are connected.
So this is Lauren's blog. And on the bottom of the screen is the URL. It is strongfemaleboss.com. Make a note of that. You're going to want to go here. You can see these wonderful articles that she has posted, and some great information here, folks. And I'm going to try to get to your first one that was about the app.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, not owning your day, we're being more productive.
You've got a whole lot of content on here, my dear, in such a short period of time. I guess having a husband that is an internet guru has its benefits, right?
It does. Eric made my beautiful website, and he's always been so supportive of me and my passions. And so he's giving me this gift, and he makes it like I make the content, and then he makes all of the pretty images and everything.
So is this the app, Communicating During the Pandemic? Yeah.
That's it, communicating during a pandemic. And the funny thing about this was when I started and I wrote the blog, there's a challenge going on right now that each day you're supposed to be reaching out to 3 people that you love during a pandemic, and you like take a pledge. It's a pledge. And so when I started writing about it, it was about 100,000 people, and last time I looked, it was somewhere in the ballpark of almost 1 million people were doing
Wow.
it. Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty impactful. And
Okay,
it's like
folks.
Marco Polo is like a video walkie-talkie. And the reason this app is really cool is because, like I said, I'm really busy with keeping up my kids' schedules and my work schedule. And so sometimes it's hard to plan out time to just FaceTime uninterrupted. But I could send you a video, Laurie, now, and you can look at it tomorrow when it's convenient for you. Or we could talk back and forth with live video. So it's really a nice way to see your family, see your friends, stay connected, but on your terms.
Well, that is pretty awesome. I've got to say, I see that we have someone in the audience that has actually used Marco Polo, Jessica Kelly. Um, Jessica, tell us how you use Marco Polo. We'd love to know how you use it. And we have a comment from Linda. Thank you, Linda. We look forward to seeing you too every Wednesday. God bless you. Thank you for being here. And so we're going to turn to the audience now. Does anyone have a question that they would like to ask Lauren, either about her blog or about balancing work and life? Give us your questions. She is ready for the firing squad. Oh, Becky uses Marco Polo as well. Great, great, Becky. And I'm guessing you use it to communicate with family. I'm going to have to check it out. I am not familiar with Marco Polo, but I will certainly check it out.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Family, friends, anybody. And if you do want to talk back and forth and you don't want to show your video, maybe you're in your pajamas or you don't feel like you're looking your best, you can still send messages without the video component.
ah. So, Lauren, while we're waiting for folks to think about their questions, what, how do you think things will change as you begin to transition back to normal life?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that we ever will fully go back to where we were. I think that it goes back to that adapting to your new surroundings. Like, did you ever think that we would be wearing masks at Kroger?
No, as a matter of fact, the other day I was getting ready for a meeting and I opened up my purse and I said, "You know, if you had asked me 4 months ago, what's the most unusual thing in your purse?" It would not have been a face mask. And now I have a face mask. I'm a little bit of a fashionista, I guess. I really like things to match. So I have a mask to match different outfits, I'm ashamed to say. But I do. So
I
I have
feel
like
you. I do
4 masks
too.
in my purse. Yeah, that's just crazy, isn't it? So we do have one question. Kathy Pascala is asking, do you have a book in the works?
Funny you should say that. No, I don't, not yet. I just really would love to have a community of women that are coming together and they're supporting each other and cheering each other on and saying, it's okay. It's okay to be normal. It's okay not to be perfect. And, I think that we all have so many unique and special things, special skills that we could be sharing with each other to make our community better and stronger. And I just want to be a part of it.
Good. Good. Elsa, so good to see you here tonight. And we're glad that you don't want to miss Bright Spots. And Jessica did say that she uses it because some of her friends are on different schedules and they can't chat at the same time. So it's easy for that. And we've got lots of folks that are going to check it out. So that's great. That's great. I do encourage you to share Bright Spots on your news feeds and invite your friends to come back and join us. So, Lauren, as we wait for some more questions, and folks, if you have questions for Lauren, now's your chance. Um, so, is there anything that you think would be the biggest challenge as we start to reopen? You know, Ohio and West Virginia are now starting to reopen. What do you think the biggest challenges we're going to have as that process and those phases begin, especially with the
Yeah.
border states?
Absolutely. And so as a mom, I think that and a daughter, I think that's where I'm most concerned is because it's kind of that fear of the unknown. Even if the business community and things start to open up again, is it safe? What is safe? And I'm thinking about my kids in the fall. Is it going to be the best decision to send them back at the time? Like I definitely wouldn't want them carrying the coronavirus and infecting, my parents or, Eric's mom. So that's a concern. And then I think, as things start to reopen, like I think there's still going to be a real fear of being near each other and having that human connection. So, what's that going to look like? Are there going to be hybrid situations where you would normally just go and meet and have coffee? Like, are we going to be giving people the option? Those are all the things that are going on in my head. And an article that I read recently said from someone that is way smarter than me on this topic that they think that we're going to go through, the next 6 to 12 months of the different pockets of the country opening and locking down at different times based on the amount of cases in that area or in that state. This is actually being called the hammer and the dance. So the dance would be when you're out and things are open, and then the hammer will be when we all have to be on lockdown or shelter in place. And so I just wonder what that's going to look like. You think about your kids, like for me, is it going to be okay for them to even see their friends? Like what is going to be the new norm? Like that's all just a big question mark.
Yeah, I know on the healthcare side, one of the concerns we have is that the next peak, what is that going to look like? And is there going to be one? We are prepared, we are ready as we slowly begin doing procedures again. We absolutely are prepared, and people should feel safe coming back to the hospital to have services done. Everything has been done to keep everyone safe. But I agree that as we start to get back out into the community, there is still a an unfortunate fear, and I think that we really, faith over fear is very important. We do need to get back to life, but you also need to be smart. You still have to take precautions, and we still need to wash our hands, and we still need to, keep 6 feet apart, and not have large gatherings, and practice good hygiene and safe cleaning in your home and around. We do have a question for you from a soon-to-be young mom. Micah is asking, do you have any advice for a first-time mom adjusting back to work post-pregnancy?
Yes, I think I've done it a couple different ways, having 3 times that I've done it and working with all 3. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a challenge leaving that new life that you created and getting back to work. But I encourage anybody that's in that situation to use that time is something for you, something that you own, because being a new mom, you give every bit of yourself to that baby and to your relationship and everything. And for me, that little period of time when I'm in the car going to work or coming home, like that's kind of the me time. Like listen to a podcast, call a friend, listen to the radio station, blare the music that you like so that when you get home, you can turn it on for your family.
That's great advice. That is great advice. Well, folks, we are getting ready to wrap up our interview this evening. If there are any other questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. And if we get them afterwards, we will absolutely send them on to Lauren. And I'm sure that Lauren will be happy to respond to them personally and get you the answers that you're looking for. Actually, respond here in the messages under the event. So, Lauren,
Absolutely.
thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our watchers and our listeners this evening?
Just if you can, go and find strongfemaleboss.com. Check out the content, and I hope that you'll share it. Or I love Pinterest. That's my search engine of choice. Laura, do you use Pinterest?
I absolutely do, yes.
Yes, and so for everything that I put out, I'm also creating pins on Pinterest, and some of them have gone, little Ohio Valley version viral for me. So it's a really, really great place. So if you're on Pinterest and you're looking for that recipe or whatever, and you run across my stuff, if you could give it a pin as well, that's always appreciated.
So this is a great comment for you, Jess, from Jessica Kelly, Lauren. It says, thank you for sharing. I love that you are telling people it's okay to not be okay. Life is messy, and with social media, sometimes people only share the pretty Pinterest perfect life. Bless you for being so real. You know, Jessica and I work in the same office, and today we had a conversation about authenticity. And I'm a strong proponent of being authentic. I think you are who you are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And even though all of us have a part of us that maybe we keep hidden, that is reserved for only special people, get to see that side of us that maybe isn't quite so put together and pretty and polite. But I think it's important, especially when we are sharing our vision and sharing our heart, that authenticity is there, that you are who you are, who you are. And I love that about you, Lauren. You truly are an authentic, strong female boss, and I count it one of my blessings to call you my friend. Well, sweetheart, we are going to get off of here and get ready to close the show down. Thank you so much, Lauren, for being with us. And I hope that you'll consider coming back again sometime and keeping us up to date. Don't forget to check out strongfemaleboss.com, folks. That is the website that you want to go check out, and there's tons of information on there, even more than I thought. I thought I had dug in pretty deep, but obviously tonight there is a whole lot of stuff I've not looked at. So I'm going to go back over there and dig in a little deeper. So ladies, and I know there's a couple of gentlemen watching too, please go and check out strongfemaleboss.com. Lauren, take care, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye. Well, folks, that is another bright spot in the books. And I invite you to come back every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. We absolutely are going to have a ball this month. We've got some great guests on the docket. As I mentioned, Tim Thompson next week. And we have Tony Mugianis the week after that, and Nikki Fleming of Artist on Call the week after that. I would love for you to come back every week. I would love for you to share this with your friends, invite them to join us. And I wish you a blessed, wonderful evening. Get out there, enjoy the sunshine that is left, and I hope you come back next week. Remember, morning music every day on my page between 7 and 7:30, and the Sisters Sing Along Sunday evenings at 5 o'clock. God bless you all, and I'll see you soon.